This is StayLit Love here, and I'm here to bring you a lituation as above, so below for the astrology forecast this month, February 2019. So February, we start off with a new moon on the 4th in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is a very innovative, future-orientated sign that is really about progressiveness and pretty much being your authentic self. It's an air sign. It has to do with the mentality of things, the higher mind, and kind of a genius energy. So activating the new moon energy for this month, we're looking at a lot of things moving forward, the future. And how better is that considering that, this is the beginning of the year. People are still setting in their New Year's resolutions. I like to call them more of intentions. Especially for the new moon, it's perfect to really set your intention. So this would be a really great time to have a ritual where you're setting your intentions about what is it that you are projecting in the future. We also have some planet aligning as well, which is Jupiter, which is a really benefactor planet. It's one of my favorite planets. It's the largest planet in the solar system. And Jupiter is a fire sign. Its rule is fire energy. It's ruled by Sagittarius. Well, it rules over Sagittarius. And so when you have an air and a fire sign, they're very complementary. So this is a sextile. The meeting of these two planets, considering that I believe this new moon is at 15 degrees Aquarius, and right now Jupiter is at 18 degrees. So we have a 3-degree orb. So this connection is really harmonious, and it's pretty much giving all of us the opportunity to have faith in the future. Like we're feeling like this optimistic, faithful, having faith in your future. Past January, it's been a lot of Capricornian energy, and we still have a little bit of Capricorn energy here this month lingering. But with this new moon, it's just bringing like this lightness to the energy, to our emotions, to our instinctual awareness, which is how we feel. So with that said, we're looking to, it's really good to project your emotions where it's optimism, where you're feeling faithful, where you're feeling joyful, jovial about your future. So be sure to do your rituals this month. I would say a great technique is to do some visualization about your future that you're projecting. Meditation is always good. Writing down, like write a note to your future self. That would be really good. And make sure you include your emotions and how do you feel. And go big. Go all the way big, because we have Jupiter really giving you all the goodies for what you want to set forth and intend for the future. So what we have next is that February 4th, we also have Venus entering Capricorn. So Venus entering Capricorn is really an interesting energy. And so with this energy, we have with this energy, it's like a really classic defining of what we value. We're valuing more traditional things. We're valuing commitments. Venus rules our relationship. Venus also rules women. Venus also rules money as well. So right now, with Venus going to Capricorn, and this pretty much lasts for about a month, I would say for this throughout the whole month, you want to really value things that will last. Valuing things that will last will bring you everything that you find to be a committed effort. This is giving you lasting value when you think of Venus in Capricorn. I would say Venus also rules fashion, so really classic looks is really important. Like the classic look that will transcend any trends is really good in beauty, like hence the red lip. The red lip is always in fashion, is always something that's trendy from the 20s, 30s, the 40s, 50s, and so forth. Another thing, I would say being a little conservative with your money will be really good. Consider going maybe thrifting where you're getting old items or antique shopping if you want to buy yourself something, because Venusian energy is all about, feeling good and buying great things and possessing and having the best of the best. So when you're shopping and you're going out, say you're buying stuff for your home, it'd probably be a good idea for you to go to like a antique shop. You'll probably find something really quite valuable. Again, saving money is really a good thing. You probably will be rewarded very well. Going to the banks and figuring out how you can save money. We in the United States, we're all getting our taxes, or we're preparing to do our taxes. So if you get your check, and you should before this transit ends, it probably would be a greater idea to conserve things. And in regards to relationships, relationship energy is really something that you would want to be like. You'll probably find a lot of people committing to things that they value, relationships that they value. Taking it to the next level. Capricorn is very ambitious energy, and Venusian energy is all about love. So you probably want to take love to the next level. Anything that's dear to your heart that you value, you want to take to the next level. And in order to take it to the next level, you would have to pretty much conserve it, commit to it, and also go for it for the long run. So that's Venus and Capricorn. Next, on the 10th, we have Mercury entering Pisces. That's a beautiful energy. Mercury, we know, a lot of people know about Mercury. I would say a lot of people learn about astrology, or that's their gateway to astrology, through the Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrogrades, it rules our mindsets, the way we think, the way we communicate, technology around us, driving. It even rules our cousins as well, our community, our close-knit community and neighborhood as well. So Mercury now going into Pisces. Pisces is a very feminine energy. It's an energy that's very nebulous, very spiritual, very abstract. So when we talk about Mercury going into Pisces, the energy is really quite, our mind is really non-linear. We're not really thinking pretty objectively or logically. Our minds, we tend to have more creative thoughts. We tend to probably get downloads from, I don't know how I figured that out, but it's like something that could be maybe from a dream. Pisces also rules the dream world as well. So you might also find that, when you wake up in the morning, you just have this wild creative idea about doing things. So I would suggest throughout this transit, it'd be a good idea to kind of have like a pen and pad, a notebook right next to your bed and your nightstand. So when you wake up, you probably would have some pretty profound dreams that will give you some great ideas as well. Another thing, like artistry must be really big. If you're an artist, this is a great time to create. You might come up with great ideas. If you're like a songwriter or a painter, because Mercury also rules our hands, you might be drawing up and writing up some really beautiful bodies of work, of artistic work, because Pisces does rule the creator, the artiste of the zodiac. So our mind is going into that place. So we're coming up with very creative ways of communicating our ideas and so forth. And our mindset is more or less, less logical, but more dreamy, more romantic. Another thing, also, romance might be a big thing. You might be professing your love, and this is perfect because this is near Valentine's Day. So Mercury in Pisces might have a lot of people really speaking from their heart, because like I said, Pisces is a very feminine energy. It is the higher altitude of Venus energy, so it's unconditional love. So people might be professing their unconditional love to each other for the Valentine's holiday, or just throughout the whole month. And I find it so beautiful. It's a very creative energy. And also, I would use this energy to meditate as well, because Pisces also rules our spiritual nature, and meditation also has to do with the mind. And so because the mind won't be so busy with so many things, it would be kind of on a flowy energy, meditating and pretty much releasing all that logical, all that, frantic energy and stuff that it was when it was in Aquarius. When Mercury is in Aquarius, we probably had so many ideas, just like so many genius things, and probably felt restless. Now the mind gets to relax, and so you take this time to pretty much have a meditative session, really release all your thoughts, drop your energy down to your heart, and listen. And it might be, you'll be surprised at what you'll hear. So the next day, the next transit we have is when Mars enters Taurus on the 18th of February. So Mars entering Taurus, this is kind of giving us another slowdown, a calm, because when Mars was in Aries, it was at home, and it was just like that push energy. And we probably really needed that. So, at the start of the year, with the intent of getting everything done, starting the year off right, having the courage and the energy. Now, when Mars is going into Taurus, it's like, okay, I did a lot. What's the worth? Like, is this worth my time? Is this worth, not even my time, but is this worth my energy? Mars in Taurus is really asking, is this worth my energy? Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus, so it really likes to calm itself and just eat and just enjoy the finer things in life. And so Mars, it's a very forceful, passionate kind of planet. And in Taurus, it's just the warrior in us really wants to know, is this worth all this energy? So right now we are assessing what is worth our energetic, our force, our drive to go after the things that we desire and what we find passionate, and what is it that we want to go after, and so forth. So this is the energy now. We're getting a little slowed down, and we're grounding ourselves with what is it that we're going after, and not just going, doing things and thinking later, as impulsive as Mars and Aries can be. So Mars and Taurus is really, grounding our energetic vibrations when it comes to what is it that we want to go after, our energy, our passions. It's really more sensual, where we're more feeling our bodies. This will be a good time for a good massage, I would say, but it will also be a good time to kind of assess your finances, because Taurus does rule money. Like I told you, it's ruled by Venus. So maybe you want to take the time, again, another theme about finances. When in the States, we get our taxes, you probably want to assess and probably, put your energy towards that, and just check out what is it that you want to allocate money for certain things, what is worth your time. Taurus energy is about, self-worth. So, you have to preserve your energy, and that's all about self-care when it comes to, the energy that you put out there. So you need to really take accountability and be reliable, and easy does it. This is slow and steady energy. This is the slow and steady wins the race. So take your time towards what is it that you're going after, what is it that you're passionate about, and so forth, and always ask yourself, is this worth my energy? So next we also have on the 18th, Chiron entering Aries. Now, most astrologers don't really talk about Chiron. Chiron is a really interesting planetoid, asteroid. We're still trying to figure out what it is, but pretty much it's in between Saturn and Uranus. And so it has a really heavy energy, which is the wound, and the freeing aspect is when we heal, which is close to Uranus. Now, this transit takes about 8 years. And Chiron has been in Aries before, last year in 2018, but went retrograde back into Pisces, and now it's going back into Aries, where it's going to stay for the next 8 years. Chiron in Aries. Well, let's talk about Chiron in Pisces. Chiron in Pisces, if you have noticed, I seen that Chiron in Pisces was really healing the feminine energy. Because Pisces, again, like I mentioned before, is a very feminine sign. It's really one that, we would see throughout this transit that self-care and self-love is something that was just a constant thing. And that's because from the last 4 years of the transit, that's when we were healing ourselves, the feminine energy. And that goes for men and women, because we all have feminine and masculine energies. And that has to do with our emotions, our self-worth, what we value, right? So those things is like something that we had to really look into our emotional well-being, right? And see, how are you valuing yourself? How is it through self-care? Are you empowering yourself? I mean, there has been so many initiatives to help women, to push women to be more empowered, to feel good, because women in this society is usually, putting all the energy outwards to everyone, caring for their families, and and we doing our work and stuff, and we have our children, and sometimes we're the last people that we take care of. And so then we have to kind of empower ourselves, and that's that feminine energy, regarding all people, all of us, because we are so outside driven, like, work driven, and don't really take care of the emotional well-being. So I would say from this whole transit, it really has healed the emotional wellness of the collective, of where we are. At least I would say we have really gained consciousness of the fact that, wait a minute, I have to take care of like the internal world as well. So now on the 18th, with Chiron going into Aries, there's more of a masculine kind of wound that we will be seeing. So with Chiron's transit, it's called the wounded healer. It's pretty much the mythology that comes with it is that there was a medicine man who shot himself, who had a bow and arrow. He was actually a centaur, kind of like the symbol for Sagittarius, half man, half horse, or half beast. And so he was more of a medicine man, an herbalist, and so forth. And his medicine, he shot himself in the foot. So it's like it's like he has the medicine to heal, but also it poisoned him. And he was unable to like really fix himself. And so that's the energy of Chiron. It's like a part of our chart. If you would do a natal chart reading of your own personal chart, you would see where Chiron is, and that's where you kind of have your personal wound. And it's with your intention is how you can heal yourself. And sometimes that would have to be something where it has to be a community effort, or definitely one that can help you liberate yourself in a way. So now back to Chiron being in Aries. Aries is a very masculine energy. It's very, go after, it's the first of the sign. It's very powerful. It's not powerful, but more or less takes initiative, takes drive. It rules the body, it rules the head, right? And last time Chiron was in Aries, I find it really interesting, was during the Vietnam War. And this is the first time we saw like the wounded soldier. This was the first time we saw like the real repercussions of war. We saw our men coming back, and they were wounded. And Mars and Aries energy is usually known as the warrior, as the soldier. So we were seeing the wounds of that. But at this right now with this transit, I think we're seeing how the masculine energy needs to heal. And I think with last year, with the Me Too movement, we've noticed how men of power have taken advantage of, their status with, all the allegations and the rape and everything that was going on throughout the whole Me Too movement. And we're all looking like, wait a minute, this isn't right, and this is something that's been going on right now. So I think that's the beginning of seeing the wounding of the masculine energy. We also have another buzzword that's going on, which is toxic masculinity. I attest that to Chiron and Aries, and that probably was happening when Chiron is in Aries last year. So there's going to be more themes that's going to really focus on the masculine energy of maybe driving, doing things too much, being so impulsive, just like that masculine energy. It's going to be some wounding, and it's going to be a gaping wound that's going to occur for the next 4 years. And I would have to say within 4 years after that, that's when we're going to start healing that energy. So how will you start healing your masculine energy? We'll look to your chart where Chiron is. And when I go through each sign, I will tell you where this wound will be occurring, and so you can get a head start and have a real awareness of how you can begin your healing process. So the next one, on the 19th, we have a combination, the full moon in the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is the sign of service. It's a sign of servitude. It's the sign of our health and well-being. It's the sign of our vocation, our day-to-day work, our lifestyle. These are the themes of Virgo. And so there's going to be a full combination, a wrapping up of those themes that was mentioned. And it's going to come to awareness in a real heightened emotional way. So you can probably find yourself maybe, you're ending a job, or you're ending a bad habit, so you can and so you can bring in a healthier habit. So the full moon in Virgo, that's going to be quite interesting, and we're going to talk about that when the full moon, when we get closer to the 19th. Well, I'll do a whole video about that. The next day, we also have the sun enters the sign of Pisces. So now the sun meets up with the Mercury, and so we're all in this nebulous, calm, relaxed energy, kind of delusional too. And I would have to say, even when Mercury in Pisces, there could be a lot of delusions, and from a macro level, we can definitely understand with what's going on around the world. And I must also say, Mercury in Pisces really gives me that media situation. So there could be a lot of deception in the media as well, because Pisces energy can really dissolve the truth, and no one knows what's going on and stuff. And that's kind of been the theme with news on a macro level of what's going on. So we probably would see more of that and heightened illumination and awareness of this, or the creation of it, when the sun goes into Pisces as well. Now, Pisces is a very spiritual sign. It's a sweet sign, and I think it's one time for me. I love to travel around this time. Like I live in New York City, so it's the dead of winter, right before the spring happens. Fares are really cheap and stuff wherever you want to go around the world, and so when you are doing with the sun in Pisces, it's like such a good time to retreat, because it's right before, the new beginning, when Aries season begins, where pretty much this is when, spring starts and things starts to blossom. So this is the end of the winter. This is the ending of the cycle, the zodiac cycle, and so forth. And it's a time to relax. It's a time to rest. It's a time to rejuvenate yourself. It's a time to heal. It's a time to love. It's a time to create. You might want to you might probably have cabin fever, so you're probably inside a lot, and you just want to create something that you can launch the next season. So look out for the sun in Pisces, where you'll feel this creative, nebulous, relaxed energy. But beware for the delusions that may come around, or you might want to sleep too much, or probably drink too much, because Pisces energy can kind of create that vibe. I mean, just think of St. Patrick's Day. That's around when when that's in around Pisces season, and we all know St. Patty's Day, you get a lot of drinking. So yeah, look out for Pisces season. It's gonna be a good time. And so let's move forward and let's start the forecast for each sign. So Aries, let's talk. So February 4th, we experienced Aquarius new moon, and this has occurred in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, friendship, and community. I'm assuming that for this full moon, you may be feeling quite future orientated, have a lot of ideas and goals and just jovial, optimistic feelings in regards to all the stuff that you hope and wish for in the future, and also the friends that you have in the community. You might feel this expansiveness that's occurring when, talking to your friends or building relationships with your community and groups and so forth. So this is a good time. This is really the natural house of Aquarius, the 11th house. So enjoy this full moon this new moon energy, and set your intentions about all the things that you hope and wish for the future. The same day on February 4th, we also have Venus entering Capricorn, and that's in your 10th house. So this is illuminating a lot of value in your career. You're probably really focused right now on your status and the ambitions that you have, and you want to secure material wealth as well. This is really a good energy, especially for the 10th house in this time of year, because, again, this is still the beginning of the year, and we're setting our intentions and, also our resolutions. And so you're quite ambitious. You're valuing your ambitions and your career. You might even find yourself receiving a lot of accolades within your job, or maybe you might even gain a job if you're not working, or a contract or something that will bring you to that next level. You'll probably find yourself attracting that a lot. So be sure to really use the law of attraction and focus on what is it that you want to attain, what is it that you what is your goals, and you can easily find it coming to you with Venus and Capricorn in your 10th house. Next, on the 10th, we have Mercury entering Pisces. This is your 12th house. So you're really going to be quite nebulous minded, if that's a word we're making words of, quite spiritual. And so I think spiritual aspects, like I mentioned, the law of attraction, even for your work situation, the fact that you have a lot of opportunity and good energy, really good energy to receive a lot when it comes to your career. I think a lot of these things can really start from an internal level, where Mercury in Pisces is not quite logical, but it's something more creative. So whatever that you want to attain when it comes to your status or your goals, you can do that but you have to start from a place that's very creative. Like, create what is it that you want to manifest. Create the status, the career, the ambition, the material wealth. You can create that by really going into a very abstract, non-linear, right brain place. And maybe you might even find yourself quite intuitive. So your intuition may be very keen. So paying attention to that. And also you might have a lot of dreams. So be sure to also really keep that notepad next to your bed. So when you're waking up in the morning, you might have some downloads of some really awesome creative things that come to mind, where you probably want to, put your courage and that energy and that driving force to really attract what is it that you desire when you have Venus and Capricorn also in your 10th house. So we're just like bringing everything together to show how you can really manifest and create a great month this February. On the 13th, right before Valentine's Day, there's a conjunction between Mars and Uranus. Now, Mars is your ruling planet. Uranus is Aquarius's ruling planet, and this conjunction is really combustible. There's something, you might be feeling so driven. You might really feel like you have the audacity. It's just really going to drive you to do something really motivated. You're going to be so motivated. It's going to be a sudden impulse. And you're already quite impulsive, which is great. Like, you're the starter, you're the leader. You might be thrusted into a leadership role. So look out for that on the 13th. I call it the audacity of being your original self. So go for it, Aries. And on the 18th, you have Mars entering Taurus in your second house. So this drive that you had of what you want for yourself, now you're gonna try to now you're gonna create that what is it, recognizing and identifying what is it that you want. You're gonna now manifest the material tangible things to get it. Like, you're gonna now have this focus, or your energetic vibration is going to be focused on going after the things that you value, that you find worthy. It's also a really good time to take action on getting a job as well, because Taurus actually rules, or the second house, I would say, rules the money we make by the work that we do. So if you're not working, this would be, or if you want to get a better job, especially that you have Venus in your 10th house, which is also has to do with career and ambitions and stuff, it would probably be a really good time for you to submit your resume and ask for a raise too, because you might even likely get it. Go for it, Aries. On the 18th, we have Chiron entering your sign. This is going to be quite a transit, and it's going to happen for the next 8 years. This is your first house, so it's going to have to do a lot with your body, and this will be more about identifying your wounds regarding, like I said, your temple, identifying, and in this identity, it's going to make you go through a transformation that will, at the end, you will definitely reach a great healing in regards to how you identify with yourself, your self-identity, and your body. So we'll go deeper into that, as this is a 9-year transit, but you will start to feel those wounding themes, and when it comes to your identity. So I would advise to really have some positive self-talk, positive affirmations about yourself, about who you are, and knowing who you are, and having the courage to recognize those wounds and to also heal them. The awareness will allow the healing to happen really quickly. And with that Aries energy, which is already a fast motion, quick energy, you can, with this in your awareness again, you can quickly figure out how to heal yourself and get around to the other side of this wound. On the 18th, the same day, there's a Venus and Saturn conjunction in Capricorn. So this day, you might definitely see some really great thing that's happening within your career, whatever your goals. You might find themes about old people, old-fashioned things, traditions, but there's something really great it might even something with your father as well, because the 10th house and Capricorn energy rules the father, but you will be receiving something of great of lasting value. You'll definitely find something of great lasting value that will really solidify that day or the 3 days before and after regarding your career, the status that you want to achieve, your ambitions, and so forth. On the 20th, we have the Sun entering Pisces. This is your 12th house, kind of really illuminating that energy that you've been feeling with, well, not feeling, but thinking within your mind when, let's see, we had Mercury enter Pisces earlier this month on the 10th. So now the Sun is illuminating all of the things that you've been thinking. Now you can probably create, really put the energy forth to create these things. But the Sun now in Pisces in the 12th house might make you feel quite tired. Your energy might be a little down. You won't feel as energetic. Take it easy and just listen and feel that energy. This is the time for you to really tap into your spiritual nature. This is the time for you to rest. Get some rest, Aries, because next month is going to be, not next month, but, next month I would say that there's going to be some planets that's going to be going into your sign, even within Pisces season. Next month. Yeah, I'm confusing myself. But no, there will be a lot of planets at the end of the month that will start going into your sign, and because Aries season does begin at the end of March and into April. So get some rest, because once the sun goes into your sign, it's go season. So enjoy this this time with the sun in Pisces in your 12th house. This is a time for spirituality, to dream. Don't drink too much, don't sleep too much, but rest enough. And maybe you would like to go on a retreat, go for that. You deserve it. And next, on the 22nd, there's also a conjunction that's happening with Mercury and Neptune. So there's going to be a real heightened awareness about your spirituality, the dreams that you have. Could be some stuff about media and broadcast. You might have some themes about that, some institution, jails, asylum. Meditation is also a good thing to do. So I really advise at that time to meditate, and again, have a notepad by your bed, because you might be getting some really interesting downloads about what is it that you can create. And love might be a really good thing. Like, you might find a lot of communication about the things that you love, and romance and so forth. So enjoy this month. Enjoy Valentine's Day, and I hope you enjoy this situation. Tell me what you think, Aries. And if you'd like your own personal forecast and situation, as above so below, of all the personal activation within your chart, feel free to book a session with me. I love talking to my clients. It's always a great time. I love to see how you're illuminated and recognize certain things. And so you can go to my website, StayLitLove.com, and you can go to the reading section, and we have two kind of readings. You can do a reading for Valentine's Day, which is the synastry reading, or you can also do a illumination reading, which is your natal chart reading. So we have different kind of times available, and no, not times, but duration and times as well. And so yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free to connect, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, tell me what you think. This is my first video, yay, first of many, and I'm excited to start this journey with you guys. So of course I want to say peace, love, and of course stay lit.